Let us discuss about range function in Python. Range function is used to create a sequence of numbers. Okay. So if you create, so what is the syntax of range is range start value, stop value, and increment value or step value. Okay. So that is what start. Even if you didn't give the start value, okay, and you're simply typing like 5, it will automatically understand, because Python is a very intelligent language, it will automatically understand that it has to start with 0 and it will print till 4. Okay, so what happens here, if you give range 5, it will print like this. Okay, even you can specify two numbers. For example, I can specify 2 comma 5, where your numbers will start with 2 and then it will go on like this. Okay, and even you can type like this. Okay, you can create a sequence like this. For example, 2 comma 11 comma 2, that is a step number, right? So it will be created as 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. Okay, so this is how the range will be. So if, for example, range is often used with the iteration, that is for loops. If you're going to try with the for loop, you will be using range if you want the sequence of numbers has to be carried out. Okay, so let us see. Say I'm just going to create R. Okay, and I'm going to create range 5, and if I print R, let's see what is happening. Okay, so what's happening, it's showing 0 comma 5. Okay, I haven't give any 0, but if you give only one parameter, if you're passing only one parameter, it is automatically assuming that the first thing is, that is a start is 0 and the ending sequence is 5. Okay, now let us see how to create a list of range. Okay, with a range value. So I'm just going to create R is equal to 2 comma 15 comma 2. Okay, so as I told you, 2 is the start value, 15 is the ending value, and 2 is the step value. Okay, now I'm going to do A is equal to list of R. Okay, so this range, I'm just going to convert it into a list, and finally I'm going to print the A, because A is holding the range of values. There is a sequence of values. Let's see what is the output. Okay, now what happens in R, it is stored as 2 comma 15 comma 2, and now you can see that in the list, the starting value, see, this is what my starting value, so 2 is the starting value, and I have given that the step value is 2, so it has created a list with 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and 14. Can you understand? Yes. Okay, let us try with another thing. So I am not giving, so for example, I'm just giving 0 comma 15 comma 3. Okay, and let's see what it's showing. See, 0, it started with 0, and 3, because my step value is 3, 3 and 6 and 9 and 12. And why you couldn't see 15? Because this last, that is a stop value, will not be printed, and only the value before that will be printed. Okay, if you want to print this 15 as well, then you have to change it to 16. Okay, so now you can visualize that 15 is also included in your list. Okay, and it's created as a list. Got it? Now we are going to create a negative step. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use 5 minus 5 and minus 3. See, my start value is 5, but my end value is minus 5. So it has to reverse it, right? Okay. So I'm just going to print it, visualize it, how it works. See what happens. It started with 5. So 5 minus 3, which is 2. 2 minus 3, which is minus 1. Okay. 2, 1, 0, minus 1. Minus 1 minus 3, which is minus 4. Can you see that? Okay. If you want to print it in the reverse order, then you have to go ahead like this. Okay, so the start value is 5 and the stop value is 0 and the step value is minus 1. Let's see what is happening here. What happened? That is in the reverse order it's printing. Okay, that is 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. It will not print 0 because 0 is the stop sequence. I have given like this is a stop value. So if you want to print 0 as well, then what you have to give? Exactly, it is minus 1. Okay, so if you visualize now, you can see 0 as well in your list. Okay, so this is how the range will be used. If you want to see in a simple example without going with an iteration, that is without going with a for loop, then you can just visualize this using creating a list. Let us see what happens if I want to create a tuple or a set. Okay, I'm just using set. Okay, let's see what happens now. Wow, it has created a set and it has ordered, because as we know that set will automatically arrange itself in an ascending order. Okay, so let us try with the tuple. Let us try to convert this into a tuple and see what happens. Okay, it has been converted into a tuple, and if you just see, you can see that there is a parenthesis over here. If it is a list, you can see the square bracket over here. Okay, so I'm just printing a list and as well as a set. Okay, so we can see the difference, right? That is what my aim. So I'm just going to print B and also I'm going to print C. Let's visualize this. Okay, so this is my range of sequence and the tuple has been created and the list has been created and the set has been created, and you can see that this, since it's a tuple, A is a tuple, so it's printed with the parenthesis, and B is the list, so it's printed with the square bracket, and the C is the set, so it's printed with the curly brace, that's a flower bracket. Got it? So hope you understand the logic of range. We will discuss more about range with iterations, that is a for loop, in the upcoming videos. Stay tuned and please share this knowledge. Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye bye. Let us understand how to do aggregate in the list elements. I am just creating a list with some numbers. Okay, so list should be created with square brackets, and since it is a number, I'm not using it inside the quotation. In order to do sum, that is if you want to print the total of the list elements, then you can use sum of. Sum is a function which is used to do the which is used to add the elements in the list. Let us visualize this first. Okay, so what happens here? All the elements in the list are added and the output has been displayed here. Okay, let us find what is which is the maximum, that is which is the highest element in the list. So I'm just printing max. So max is a function which is used to print the highest element or the largest element in the list. So you can see that the sum is 191 and the largest element is 72. Likewise, you can also find which is the smallest element in the list using the function which is min. So minimum, it will show you which is the minimum element in the list, that is the smallest element in the list. You can see that 26 is the smallest element. Okay, let us try using the characters. Let's see what is happening with the characters and how it is evaluating, or whether it is evaluating or not. Actually, this is not possible, right? The sum. So, what is happening here? It is showing an error because this is not the supported function. Since the list is having only the character, which is a string, and the addition is possible only with the integer. That is why it is showing the error. Let us try with max. Let's see what is the output it's showing. So the maximum value is C. How come it's possible? Because it is taking up the ASCII code of the C. Okay, so what happening here is the ASCII code of the C is higher than the ASCII code of A and B. So it is showing C is the largest element. If you have any doubt, you can just go and search as ASCII codes. So it will show that in our keyboard, in every individual character, every symbols, operators is having a separate ASCII code. In that, you can understand that C is having the highest ASCII code compared with A and B. Let us try with a minimum. So if you use min, so what's happening here? I think A will be the minimum, right? Okay, min and max is working, but why not sum? Because using sum, what it will do is it will try to add the values. Okay, it will try to add the values which is not possible with the characters. While doing sum, it is not converting it into the ASCII codes. But while trying to do with the min and max, it can easily find out the character, that is an ASCII code, and it is showing which is the minimum and which is the maximum. There are few more important concepts in list like append, okay, extend, and other things that I have discussed in the another video. You can just go through that.